So, OJ, thanks for being here today. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the story of your MS and just have you recount how things started for me. How did you first figure out that something wasn't right?
I first found out I had a vision issue.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the middle of class and teaching my class, and I looked over to my right, my eyes just wouldn't track over to the right, and then I looked to the left and they both didn't go to the left, and I thought it was a neat little trick, and I asked the students to look at it and check it out, and I said, hey, look at my eyes. And they all looked at my eyes, and I cut my eyes to the right, and they didn't track over, and the kids were like, oh, and then I did the same thing to the left, and they were like, oh, that's so cool. I was like, yeah, that is cool. And that's just the way I looked at it. I was like, man, that's the neatest trick.
What was it? When was that? When did you first have a problem?
That was in 2002.
Okay.
And that was in August of 2002.
Okay.
It was like the second day back to school.
Uh-huh.
And I went to see, after that, I had to go and see Miss Marshall, who was our HR rep. And,
Yeah.
And she's known me since I was a student at the school.
Wow.
And she said, OJ, you need to go right now to see your ophthalmologist.
Yeah.
I went to see one.
Yeah. And what happened after that?
The ophthalmologist sent me to the neurologist, and I didn't know what a neurologist was.
Yeah.
And I said, man, I went in to get my eyes checked. Next thing I know, they're telling me I'm crazy. So
They told you were crazy.
no, that was my
that's
assumption,
what you thought.
because I didn't know what a neurologist was. I was just saying, that's a brain and psychologist, neurologist. It's all
It's all the same. Well, you've had the education of a lifetime. So did they pretty quickly figure out you had MS?
Yeah, I mean, once I got to the neurologist, he got an MRI done, and then he got the spinal tap done, and it was bang bang, and
it was really clear.
It was clear.
Really clear.
I mean, the spinal tap came back positive, and they were like, "Yeah, there's no doubt you had MS."
Did that get in the way? Did having MS get in the way of you doing things in the beginning?
Not at first. When I was diagnosed in 2002. I went from 2002 into 2012 coaching football as if nothing was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I walked around. Everyone said, "You're sick. You're sick." Yeah, I'm sick. I have this MS disease, and they're like, "Well, we can't really tell you have a disease." I was like, "That's good, huh?"
Were you on treatment during that time?
In 2002, I was on Avonex.
Okay, so they started you out right away.
Right away, I was on Avonex, and then from Avonex, I went to Rebif, and from Rebif to Tysabri, and from Tysabri to Limtrol.
Yeah, how long were you on Rebif?
Rebif, I was probably about a year, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe two.
When did you get on Tysabri?
Tysabri, I started in 2000. I want to say 2000. I was probably 2012.
Okay.
2012 to about 2014.
Were you losing ground? Is that why they put you on the Tysabri? Did you start to develop leg problems at some point?
Yeah, it was during that time. I guess the doctor at that time noticed that my gait wasn't what it was, and he said, "Hey, we need to make the switch." And
well, it probably is part of why you're still walking. They treated you like that, more aggressively, and
that's what he told me.
Yeah.
He said, "Hey, I just want you to understand this MS is going to be aggressive with you."
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Okay.
That's good. So, did you feel pretty good while you're on the Tysabri?
Honestly, I felt good while I was on all of them.
That's good.
I mean, but it's just it's always been my attitude. I have this disease, and we'll just deal with it as whatever comes.
You had some new problems on Tysabri as well, while I recall.
I'm trying to.
I think it was just on your brain scans. Perhaps.
Yeah. I was gonna say it pretty much. It just started. Oh, that's what it was. It was one of the last tests came back, and it started to show signs of the JC virus.
Okay. Well, so they looked at it and it wasn't as safe for you.
Right.
And what options did they talk to you about at that point?
They really didn't talk to me about anything other than, hey, we're going to make the switch from we've done all we can for you in our office, and we're going to switch you over to the other office.
Okay.
And I believe that's when I
started. Well, that's when we started Limtrada. Yes. Yeah, and Limtrada is helpful in that it doesn't have the same problems with Tysabri, but it takes more time to get its full effects. So every day you have limitations. Tell us what you notice every day. What do you have? What are your challenges in life?
The biggest thing for me is the fatigue. I mean, just I can do so much, and my wife gets upset with me because she says you're overdoing it and you're wearing yourself out, and you don't even notice that you're wearing yourself out, because I guess I'm somewhat stubborn. Again, I forget sometimes that I have MS when I know that I have MS, or at least I try and deny that I have MS.
That's good. It's fine. Because you got to keep moving. You got to keep moving. The more you move, the better. And that's. I understood you retired this year. Finally,
I did. Again, from 2002. I started teaching in 2000, and I went from 2000, diagnosed in 2002, and finally in 2018, 2009. This past year this is going to be my first year not to teach, not to be in a classroom, not to be surrounded by students, and it's a different feel, but it's something that I know that I had to do because I was. And as I told my headmaster, I said, hey, I love this school too much to not give my best. And I love it enough to know that it's time to walk away. So that's what I did.
So, and what do you think was the biggest limitation you had that led to that?
The beginning of knowing that I was searching for words.
Okay.
I wasn't connecting thoughts, and for me to be in a classroom and not be able to connect those thoughts and have those gaps of what was I thinking? It wasn't something that the students.
It was challenging with the environment. So we've done a lot of work with you about your walking, and your walking obviously is one of the limitations you have.
Right.
How far can you usually walk at a time if you walk slowly and take your time?
If I'm walking slowly, taking my time, I can probably go. 15, 20 yards maybe.
How long has it been that limited?
Oh, let's see. My mobility started to really go downhill in about 2016.
Okay.
But at the severest point, which is where I am now, it's probably been a year and a half that I've been like this. That I just,
you're really limited. Once we started doing the Limtrada, you were going downhill pretty quick, and we've tried to stop it. It's always hard to tell if we're going to be able to do that. The one of the things that limits people in their gait is their legs get really stiff, and they're fighting it. And you have both stiffness and weakness, and I'm going to demonstrate that here shortly. But those are both challenging because, and you're a big guy, you've got a lot of weight to move around.
Yes.
Yeah, so even though you're very muscular, and it's really frustrating. Do you use get out of the house with a power chair? Do you have a power chair for distance?
Yeah, whenever I need to go out of the house to go somewhere, I have a mobility scooter, and I get to use it. And like I go to the grocery store with my mobility scooter, and I roll in, and of course people will say, "Oh, I need me one of those." No, you don't.
No, you don't.
If you understand why I'm on this, no, you don't.
That's good. That's good. Do you get out of the house regularly?
I probably get out of the house and go to the grocery store at least once a week.
Okay.
And now that the weather's starting to cool off, I probably won't be able to do it as much because it's just cold weather, and I just don't like cold weather. But.
Yeah. Does it make you stiff, or does it hurt, or what's the problem?
With the cold weather, I tend to get a little more stiff during
Yeah.
the cooler months. Fatigue is more set in during the warmer months.
Okay.
And it's quick whenever it's hot, and it drains me right away. But with the cooler months, I just tend to not to move around as
Okay.
easy because I am a little bit more stiff.
Are you able to hold your hands out in front of you? Good. Can you point your fingers at each other like this? Good. Touch my finger with your finger. Yeah, good. And yeah, you can touch your nose. Go back to your nose. It's easy. I just like to be sure that you're not going to poke yourself in the eye before I tell you to do that. So that right arm is a little weak. Can you open and close that hand? Are you able? It's really hard for you. It's really hard. Yeah. And can you do the left one there? And you actually you open and close that. Can you squeeze me real hard? So the power there is good. Bend your elbows, push me real hard. Yeah, so that's really strong. And can you bring that wrist back? Are you able to bring that up there? Hold it up. And it's actually quite strong. It's just stiff. Yeah. Can you hold those fingers straight? Hold them as straight as you can. You really have a hard time getting those out straight. So that's what we call spastic tone, and it's just where the muscles fight you. They won't turn off. And yeah, and then are you able to spread your fingers just very weakly? So your hand weakness is a big issue. Over here, it's not weak at all. Okay, good. Let's look at your legs. Are you able to lift your leg off the floor or not? It's too weak. It's really hard for you. That's the hardest thing. That one's really quite strong. It's not normal, but it's very good. Push your knees together here. Good, and push them apart. Some muscles are so big that it's hard. Now I'm going to lift your leg. Can you pull your heel back towards you? Pull towards you that way. And this is really the weak leg. It really can't resist very well. And pull this one. And that one's really quite strong. And you have a brace to help you so that your toes don't catch. Here, can you lift these toes up here? Hold them up. And that's just super strong. Now I'm just going to move your leg. I'm going to just feel how it moves. Don't help me. Let me just feel it. Boy, we have gotten that a lot better, haven't we? And it's still tight here, but it's way less tight than it was. You had toxin injections about a week ago.
Right.
Well, and you had told me before wasn't really doing anything. It's done something. Does it make any difference? But do you think it's making a difference now?
Yeah, I feel a lot looser than I was.
Well, and that's what we're hoping, that it will stay a little looser once we get it there. And we've brought down, you may notice that the thigh here is a little smaller than this one.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's because the muscles have been so conditioned, by the stiffness to get bigger and bigger and bigger. That's part of it. Is not only were they fighting you, they're also very strong in fighting you. So it lets us do that. And I'm just gonna test your reflexes here a little bit. You're on some medicines to decrease the reflexes, right? Are you on baclofen?
Baclofen.
And tizanidine too, or just at night?
Just I take it only at night.
Mm-hmm. So I think the best thing to do is just see you walk. The challenge with using a walker is that right hand is a little weak. Mm-hmm. Does that give you trouble holding on to it?
I can actually. For me, the challenge is getting the hand open. But once it's open, once I close it around something,
it stays.
I can.
They do have walkers that when people are really having a hard time, they have walkers they're called platform walkers. They're custom built. They're bigger, and you can hold them like that against you, so that you've got something to help keep your balance, and also that it's easier to hold on to than a frame walker like you have. What time of the day do you kind of run out of steam?
It's about right.
We see you in the afternoon, and it's pretty rough sometimes. Are you ready? So what I'm going to have you do is walk down that way, and then turn around and walk back this way. Okay. Okay, and just turn around. Yeah. Walk back towards me. So when you have to lift, because you have to lift up to get that right leg to come through. Good job. Good job. Oh man, that's great. All right, and just one more time, just walk back that way. And we're gonna, I'm going to park you in the other area where we can bring you something to eat and drink. You've been so patient. Okay, good deal. All right, Bill, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to walk him in the other room here where he can sit down and rest. So let me just turn left at that door. We're going to just park you in there, and I'll get you a plate here. And yeah, just come on in here. We'll just find you a chair.
Yeah, battery's not. Some people don't like to go.
Let's just get. Can I get one of these chairs for him real quick? Yeah, no, it's fine. Just go ahead and have a seat. You're fine there. And I mean, also relaxes all the stiffness up here, which I don't treat. But once you calm down some of the reflexes, the others get calm. That's good. What time do we leave?
It's about right.
We see you in the afternoon, and it's pretty rough sometimes. Are you ready? So what I'm going to have you do is walk down that lane and then turn around and walk back